welcome to day 133 of the 300 Movie Challenge. Today we watched the highest grossing film of June 2005, which was War of the Worlds. That's a pretty...
I mean, to be fair, I've been awake since 6:55 a.m. and it's currently 12:14 a.m. and I'm just like, I'm ready to
Mai's
die.
had a rough day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically I've had a rough day. So if I'm like more bitchy than usual, then you'll know why.
Well,
Where do you even start?
I know there's like so many things to say, and I know. Okay, I'll start with this. So the source material, of course, is the book by H.G. Wells.
Yeah,
And
and I will say, just for the record, that adaptations of his work are notorious for never sticking to what he originally wrote.
yeah, I mean, I don't think I've read the original. If I did, I don't
I
remember
don't
it
think
very
I have
well.
either.
Um,
I think I might have briefly read an excerpt because it was in one of our like English textbooks.
yeah, I might have. I don't know, but either way, the basis of this story is that you have aliens come to Earth, and I think originally they're from Mars, which that wouldn't really work here, but whatever. And the whole idea is that the humans, none of them can beat them, but then they die because of the bacteria.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the whole thing, and they kept that here and all that kind of stuff. I just have to point out that scientifically that makes no fucking sense. And here's why. Because you might think, oh no, it does make sense because like they wouldn't expect that. But here's the thing. Again, alien life is alien life, so I guess it could come in different ways. But as far as we could tell, and I know, just looking at the Earth, you could totally tell how life would happen anywhere in the universe. But it seems like single-celled organisms are kind of necessary to happen first.
Yeah, a
So
little bit.
why would they not think of that?
I guess it's kind of like how when like how there was that whole massive plague when the Europeans came over to the Americas and stuff because
Well, no,
um
that's fair. But so I understand it again. When he wrote the story, it makes sense. But I'm just saying now for what we know about these things. Again, we know how generally how life evolved on Earth, and these dudes are supposed to be way more advanced than us because we can't even touch them. So like they should know this, okay? So I'm just saying in terms of pure scientific accuracy, it doesn't make sense. That said, considering the source material and when it was written, it's kind of irrelevant. I just wanted to point it out to get that out of the way. So yeah, in terms of the story itself, I don't remember the specific plot points of like the actual book. So I can't comment on that. I do remember vaguely.
I think I remembered the radio broadcast that was done
yeah, I
as
remember that.
like as
And
like
people actually believed it and stuff, and
I've
there were
also-
suicides.
I've also heard that belief is actually like not even true, but whatever. I don't know. But what I do think is that I do remember now that I've watched this movie. Do you remember this thing about like harvesting blood for some like plant? I do remember that vaguely, but again, I don't know the specifics or anything like that. So obviously, for some movie, and I'm pretty sure the story in itself is actually pretty short. So again,
as most, yeah.
they definitely need to add like characters and like their own kind of story to go within this setting. Okay, so that was given.
Mm.
That's it. These characters suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost wanted to say let's talk about the good things first because the bad things are mostly within the characters and how fucking annoying they are.
Yeah.
Like I sometimes don't like saying that child characters are annoying because I feel like in some ways that's kind of unfair, but they were really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know
Especially when they're aware of the fact of the danger and everything, and they still she still ran far, far away to go pee.
I honestly don't know if I hate the girl more or if I hate the son more. They're both
That's a
like
choice.
they're just so annoying. And then it's not even like the dad is any better. He's just a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I think they were trying to go with the angle of like, you know, they don't know what's going on, so they kind of freak out and make bad decisions. Which is like, yeah, that makes more sense than I guess like someone just immediately knowing exactly what to do all the time and that kind of stuff.
But you
Yeah.
can do that. You can do that with a character whose baseline state of being is an asshole.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can do that
Yeah.
with someone who's like, yeah, I pay my taxes, I mow my own lawn, I'm a good person, I give cookies to my neighbor.
Like
That's
the
fine.
guy who fixed the car. If we were centered on him, instead he was the one who drove off in the car.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's again I'm just saying I totally agree with you. I just kinda think I understand what they were going for, but it doesn't work. You could argue it's quote unquote realistic, but in terms of like watching something that we want to enjoy, no, doesn't work.
You should at least follow the most average person. I don't think the average Joe is just like baseline asshole all the time. Sorry.
Yeah, like again, reactions to things and stuff like that are decently realistic, but the people
Yeah.
themselves are just not enjoyable to
Like
watch.
the masses, quote unquote, just like the people as a whole, just the crowds, they were fine because
Yeah.
they kind of reacted as realistically as
Yeah, especially the car scene where the mob like took over the car and everything. That
Yeah.
would definitely happen.
Yeah, like all of the extras were actually really good.
And then there was Jack Black randomly for like no reason.
I didn't even realize until like you texted me and you pointed out, you were just like, that's Jack Black, and I was like, wait, really?
Yeah. So that was random, but yeah, no, they work. And again, like, I kind of said this like while we were watching this, at least through some messages, that like, if this was a silent film, like, so there was still music over things, right? But if there was no talking, this would be a legitimately really good movie.
I think that would make it a lot more effective if no one talked.
It's just that everyone's so like the main characters at least are really damn obnoxious, and you just ugh. And because like I'll just say this straight up, visually this film is amazing.
It is really cool.
Yeah,
Like the effects that they did and stuff.
Well, no,
Because
not-
comparing it to Independence Day, because Independence Day was more centered on the explosions and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But here, there's actually not too many like fiery
It
explosions
was
in
much
terms.
more like atmospheric and like big,
Yeah.
wide, sweeping visuals. Because again, like the effects, like they are clearly like good CGI, but CGI, right? It's not like
Yeah.
you know, like so for some of the Lord of the Rings stuff, they didn't even look like CGI, right? It's not quite there, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like the cinematography and the visuals, and there's so many like really good shots that you see.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
it's a very artistically shot movie.
Yeah, and,
It's
like, for
very
example-
well
And the
written.
music too.
Yeah, it works
Yeah.
perfectly with that. And again, there's a bunch of moments where you're like, oh shit, like for example, the train going by that was on fire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was really cool visually. Again, just when you look out and you see these giant things just looming out of like the fog, it's just like it looks really good.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
really
yeah.
feel like, you know, the suspense from that. And again, the music, it works really, really well. The characters just suck.
How does Dakota Fanning not have PTSD?
I don't know. Just after all the shit she's been through. But it is a shame that the characters didn't work at all, because otherwise this had so much potential to be
Yeah.
really
It
good.
could have been another Die Hard.
It could have been, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it would have been a lot more, you know, depressing in tone. But
Yeah.
yeah, in terms of if they, again, you really do not have to change much. It's just like replace the main characters. You could even keep a lot of the dialogue at least kind of similar.
Just make
Just
them
make
better
them not
people.
assholes or annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. Like,
Like,
it's.
okay, this is...
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Just go ahead.
Okay. This is as someone who, as you guys know, has a very vivid fear of alien invasions. I thought the aliens were actually well designed. I think at one point, like, Valen, you, like, texted me saying, did the aliens have 3 legs? And I was like, I think they do, and that makes sense, because, like, their machines also have 3 legs, and
Yeah.
I thought that was very
Yeah,
clever.
Tara,
how
did
they
you
just
notice if they had
kept
3
that.
legs or not? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to how many legs they
I
had.
think with the lighting, they had to keep it kind of dark because of
Right.
the CGI. But
Yeah.
I think it would make sense if they had 3 legs, and I think that would have been very clever if they had the 3 legs.
Because I
just
noticed
because...
in the original, well, at least maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I think originally like the machines they of course had the 3 things, but also like the head part was like a spheric, so it's kind of mostly spherical.
Yeah.
But here that's not spherical, and if you notice, it's actually roughly the shape of the alien's head.
Yeah.
So I noticed
Yeah.
that for sure. So it would make sense if like those machines were kind of just shaped like the aliens themselves, which would actually be kind of an interesting kind of thing to go off of that. So
Yeah.
It would
It's kinda like
would say
how
something
you have,
about
like,
their culture.
Transformers and like Gundams and stuff where they're somewhat humanoid,
yeah,
like the people piloting them. Well, I don't know how Transformers works, but I know how Gundams
Screw
work.
Transformers. Who cares about that shit?
we don't have to worry about them yet.
Ah, fuck.
But,
Fuck Transformers. Bye.
so like that's interesting. There was something else I was going to mention that was interesting. I forgot what it was. Oh, not with the music, but the that sound that they make.
Yeah,
is-
whenever
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
aliens
Yeah,
come,
it's just
you
such
know
an
that they're coming.
overpowering sound, and it fits really well with again the tone that they're going for. Oh, I remember what I was thinking of
Such a
saying.
pity.
Another really well done visual thing. Again, the plot part of it with the actual how the characters work with it is stupid, which is the military battle in like the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
So the son is a fucking idiot because he wants to go like die, but visually what's happening around is fucking amazing. Like that fight is insane with just how much shit's going around, and it's so visually insane. And then you just have to listen to this idiot be like, "I want to see it," and you're like, "Oh my god, I hate you." But I love. Can you just like get off the screen and look at everything else? So I'm so split on this because like I want to like this, and it's one of those things.
I
That, like,
feel like this is like Primal Fear for you all over again.
no, it kind of is. It's just trying to think about what works and what doesn't. It's like it's like I kind of want to recommend it because again, it's just visually so good and it does.
But then
work, but-
there's the main
Yeah,
character
it's-
screaming.
I don't know. I'm so torn on this. I might have to like rethink my ranking later, but
It
I don't know.
really is a shame because the actual movie itself is like really well done. It's really well constructed. It was well directed and planned, and there was obviously a lot of thought put into it. But somehow there wasn't any thought put into the script, or maybe they tried to go with let's do unlikable characters, and maybe it'll add some depth. And maybe it might work for some people, but for us, we just found them to be overpoweringly annoying and stupid.
It's weird because I kind of have like a soft spot for these kind of like disaster movies, and this is different from like again think this is not like Twister, Godzilla, and Armageddon. That was a bit
Science.
different. Because for them it wasn't so much the characters were. I mean, some of them were annoying, but I think the bigger problem is the characters were just fucking stupid.
Yeah,
That was the
dumb.
big. So here they're not necessarily stupid, but it seems like this is a problem for a lot of more modern disaster movies. So I'm thinking like this, 2012, which I kind of like in an almost like an ironic way, but that kind of has this problem too. But 2012 is not as bad as this is, honestly, in terms of this. And I know I'm forgetting some more that I just can't think of right now. But yeah, there's this problem of like the characters just kind of suck. and it's all this similar where it's like they're kind of portrayed. For example, you're kind of spoiling this, I guess, but it's not really a big thing. The main character in this story is like a deadbeat dad who doesn't want to deal with his children and is kind of a dick to them. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the exact main character of 2012.
Oh my
Like
god.
exactly. But that said, he's better in 2012. He's not as much of an asshole, but it's the same archetype. Okay, so. And I swear, there's more than that. I'm like, there has to be some more. I know there's more. I just can't think. It's just like, why is that the character
I don't
that you
know.
use? Because there's like really, for disaster movies, the way to like them is, of course, visually that's the main focus. So really, if your characters aren't that great, that's not that much of a problem usually because they're not that important. You can if they're just kind of forgettable, well then they're kind of forgettable and whatever. You're not paying attention to them. But if they're actively annoying, it doesn't. You can't push them out of your head because every time they show up, you're just like, oh god damn it, here we go again.
It's not even that when they show up; it's when they open their mouth.
Yeah. So,
Either they should have made this a silent, no dialogue movie. We just saw them reacting. That would have been fine because their actions would have been fine for the most part, except like the son, stupid asshole. Or they should have just either went with, you know, sympathetic characters or just very flat characters where you don't really care that they're there and then you just enjoy the rest of the movie. Of course, it would suffer for points with the character aspect, but at least they're not annoying the hell out of you like every 2 seconds.
Because, like, even with these annoying characters, like, I still felt a good amount of suspense and that kind of stuff, but think about how suspenseful this would have been if you legitimately liked the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
know
if
what
they
I
were
mean?
actually characters
If you actually cared about, like...
Didn't want them to die and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
that it's like, oh, this would have been even more powerful. And it's just, that's what's so frustrating. It's just like,
Yeah.
why? You
Because
were
in
so
this case, we
close.
were kind of like, it doesn't matter if you die.
Yeah.
Especially at the end,
Oh,
where they all
yeah.
got captured.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so, it's so frustrating. Boy. I don't know. It's there. To be honest, I kind of expected this to be like I expected the characters to be better, but I expected the rest of it to be worse.
Yeah.
I
That's what
expected
I
just kind of
thought, too.
everything to to be okay. And
That's
instead
what
we
I
got really bad characters and really good everything else.
Which is such a pity because
Yeah.
the characters take up so much of the screen time.
Yeah. So,
No, that's a bummer.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm thinking about the next movie and how it's just the complete different kind of movie.
Oh yeah, more bratty children though.
Oh fuck, you're right. I didn't even think of that.
Is Dakota Fanning in that one too?
I
don't
don't-
remember.
I
Wait,
don't think
is
so.
hold on. Let me look this up.
Was Dakota Fanning just the child actor of this, like, whole early 2000s?
Yeah, I think so. She was the It actress at the time, I think.
Hold on.
Is she in this movie?
I'm looking. Hold on. Okay, she was not.
Okay.
Okay, who am I thinking of then? I don't know. I'd have to go. Look, whatever.
I know there's a girl who looks like Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
that's
is
what I
a
was thinking
blonde
of.
girl.
So, whatever.
More brats ahead.
Yeah.
Including one grown brat.
Oh yeah, especially in this movie.
One what?
Um,
That has no idea what he's up against.
Wait, what?
Don't worry.
Oh no.
Don't worry.
Oh no.
This is one movie where me and my aunt have actually seen it.
Yeah, I haven't
I'm
seen
getting
it.
ready to cringe.
I know of it. But
Now you get to experience it.
Yep.
boy.
A movie where even as kids we were just like, we came out of the theater confuzzled.
Yeah, basically just like, what the fuck?
I didn't understand the ending of that film until far later.
We'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, let's do. Kind of play random shit. Anyway, so yeah, that was War of the Worlds. It was so close. It was so.
It was a
close.
bummer.
It was so close. Anyway.
Bye.
Bye.